Hello and welcome. This is just a video just to show the steps of which I'm going through to install remote central locking on a Porsche Boxster 2002. The original Porsche key, the remote, the fob doesn't work on both of them. Got two keys, and the insides of the fob, the circuit board, isn't working. Well, it's not there. It's not that it's not working, it's just not there. The transponders inside the key, both the keys, so they start, start, open the key, but you can't lock the car with central locking. And if you lock it with the key, it causes problems with the alarm. You have to put the key in ignition, all that kind of thing. So rather than, I got a quote for two keys of £500 from an independent. It wasn't a a Porsche specialist, or well, he might have been a Porsche specialist, but he wasn't a Porsche dealer. It was just someone I found on the internet. Can you give me a quote? And that was the quote, £500 plus VAT for two keys, which I'm not paying that. It's as simple as that. So what I've basically done is I found another alternative. So let me show you. So what I've done is I bought one of these high quality super technology remote central locking kits. Now, I've done a bit of looking up on the internet and I've seen that people have fitted these kind of things to these cars, so I thought I would just video what I did. So basically you get the loom, you get a little flashing alarm light, which I'm not going to use, and you get the central locking unit, and that's the aerial, and you get two keys. Now, I didn't realise that the keys came with, all the fobs came with keys on. That's not what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was just attach the fob to the key ring, and then it will just work as a separate key fob. What I've now done is I've contacted someone on eBay. This is a VAG, Audi Volkswagen style fitment on the blade. So what I've done is I've contacted someone on eBay, and they're going to cut me two of these blades to fit into this key fob. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit the central locking unit in the Porsche so it locks and unlocks the car. I'm going to transfer over the transponder chips from the original key into the new key, so the car will start with a blade that will start and unlock the car. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so this is where I've got to so far. So I've pulled the seat all the way forward, which you can't see now because I've pushed the seat back now. But I've undone the two bolts, one there, and there's one on the other side. If you pull the seat forward, you can see that. And then you undo these two bolts. So there's one there, one on this side, one on the other side. And I've used an E12, one of those, whatever you call them. I've undone the two back ones, and on the fronts there's a little plastic cover that slides in there. All you have to do is, you see this little flap here, you have to pull that up and then slide this piece of plastic forward, and then I would assume there is a bolt there. Where is it? There. And then do the same on the other side. Okay, so I've got that underneath there. and then you just put it away. And there's the other bolt. Okay, I've got those two bolts out. Now, I've taken out a lot of seats in my time, and that was the worstest pain in the arse I've ever come across in my life. Because, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this, is it? There you go. Because you've got this piece here, can't get a socket in there. It's ridiculous. It's at a funny angle, so the bottom of the seat gets in the way here, and you can either it's in that way, or you can push the seat back enough. The seat needs to go back more, but it won't go back anymore. And so in this one is even worse because the handle's in the way. I mean, if the bolt was at that angle, it would have been fine, but it's not. It's almost upright. Anyway, it's done. They don't tell you that on the forums or Facebook groups. Anyway, that's that done. And I believe this is to do with the central locking, the alarm and the immobiliser. So the idea is that all the wires, power, grounds, central locking motors, should all be accessible from here. So that's my plan. Make it nice and neat, out of the way, rather than doing it anywhere else. So I've just disconnected the battery and unplug this loom to the seat. I believe it's got some kind of airbag tensioner system in the seat, which is why I've disconnected the battery. So I'm going to unplug that, get the seat out. Okay, so that's the seat out. Oh, money. Always good when you find money. Is that legal tender anymore? I don't think it is. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Right, so just going to take these tabs off and have a look inside. So that's the inside of the unit. It's got some kind of aerial for the central locking. I didn't need to open this, but I just thought we'd have a look inside. It's got a fuse on it. Didn't realise it had a fuse on it. Multi plugs, relays. That's basically it. So I'll leave that well alone, put the lid back on, and then work out what wires I need to tap into. Okay, so I just thought I'd give you a bit of an update on where I am, because things haven't been going according to plan, and I've just spent the last 2 hours scratching my head trying to work out exactly what it is or what was going wrong. Now, I followed all the instructions online that I found, the wiring. I found the lock and then the unlock wire on the central locking unit. I've wired it in, done everything that they said, connected to earth, connected the wires, and I'd lock the car. The car would lock, work fine, and the light on there would start flashing. And when you went to unlock it, nothing would happen. The courtesy light on the door would come on, but the car wouldn't actually unlock, and the car would remain locked, and the alarm would remain on. So as soon as you try to open the door or do anything at all, or put the key in the lock, the alarm would go off, and you have to put the key in ignition and turn which deactivates the alarm. Now I couldn't work out what I was doing wrong, because everybody else seems to do this. Now I don't know, because this is a 2002 car, if they changed it around 2001, if they changed the alarm system, I don't know. So I've been scratching my head trying to work out how to figure it out, and I have finally figured it out. Right, what I figured out is if you lock it and unlock it via this button on the dash, it doesn't set the alarm. Now, because of the way that this system works, you're not going to be able to set the alarm on it without a key fob. So the original key has a transponder in it. So you put it in ignition, it recognises the key, and it allows you to start the engine. So the car is immobilised. So not having an alarm on it isn't great, I know, but unfortunately this is the only way around it. It's still immobilised, you still won't be able to start the car without the key. So what I've done is I've worked out how this switch works, and basically what it does is it takes power, one of the pins in here, that bottom red wire, red and, was it brown and red? Brown and red, that takes power into the switch, and then you've got these two white and black wires coming out the top of the switch. What this does is that this red wire, this brown and red wire, it puts power to one of these connectors to unlock it, and then the power to the other connector to lock it momentarily. So if you put 12 volt to that, it will lock the car. If you put 12 volt to that, it will unlock the car. So that's actually how it works. This one, the one with the pencil mark on it there, that's lock. So if you put 12 volts to that wire, it locks the car. Okay, so this wire here comes down into here. This white, move out of the way. This white and black wire is the other end of that wire to lock the car. So what I've done is I've connected the lock side of the central locking unit, the white wire, to that wire, and I've connected the appropriate opposite end, which is the yellow wire, to power. Now this is obviously all temporary. I'm going to wire this in, solder it, do it all correctly, but this is just to get it working, because I've been scratching my head, as I say. So basically this puts power into the central locking unit. So when you press the lock on the key, it locks the car. So the car is locked, so this door is shut. This one is open, but I've put the screwdriver in and clipped the latch in. Front shut, the back shut. So this is now locked. The alarm isn't on, so that's working fine. So on the unlock, it takes, on the yellow and black, on the unlock side of the central locking unit, it takes a ground into the central locking unit, and then when you press unlock on the fob, sends out an earth, the unlock signal, on the white and black, which goes down to the red, not the red, it goes down to the brown wire with the red stripe on it. Okay, so when you press unlock, it unlocks the car. Okay, so it locks and unlocks on there, and also I've also connected, it also opens the boot. And basically what that is this wire here, which is the original wire, which is blue with a black stripe on it, which I've cut here, which I didn't mean to do. So that needs to be joined back into there as well. And this basically feeds from the button, because these have got buttons for the front and the rear trunk. So currently, because that's cut, the actual button isn't working, so I've got to connect that back in again, and then this goes to the blue wire on the central locking unit. So you tap in the blue wire on the central locking unit into the blue and the black into this unit, and it will open the boot. So that's basically how I've wired it in. So I've got to tidy it all up, solder it all on, do all the connections properly, make this all neat and tidy over there, and then I'll show you once that's all done. So the only other thing that I didn't mention on here, these are pretty generic instructions. You've got a main power and main earth, which are the only two other connections that you really need. I haven't worked out what that key on does. That seems to, I don't know what that does. I think it's supposed to, when the ignition is on, it doesn't unlock or lock or something. I'm not quite sure what that does. So basically, at the moment, the live wire here, which goes into the central locking unit, I've literally just tapped in to that wire down there, which is, I can't see what it is. It's that second one along, which is red. That red wire and the one next to it on the left, the red and green, permanently 12 volts. So that I will tap into that wire for the power. The only other thing that this does, which I might look into, is the direction lights flashing. You can get them to flash the direction lights. So if I can find the wiring on here to flash the indicators when I lock it and unlock it, then that'll be something that I'll tell you how I've done as well.